This is King Carl XVI Gustaf, who belongs to the House of Bernadotte, the dynasty that has ruled the longest. He is the longest reigning king in the history of the Swedish monarchy, which stretches back more than 1,000 years. Born on April 30th, 1946, he became the world's youngest king at the age of 27 after the death of his grandfather, King Gustaf VI Adolf, in 1973. King Carl XVI Gustaf was the youngest of 5 siblings and the only son. King Carl Gustaf, the 16th king named Carl in Sweden, isn't truly the 16th. Historically, Swedish kings used a regnal list that included mythical sovereigns to enhance the kingdom's history, adding 6 fictional Carls. Thus, a 17th century monarch who should have been Carl III became Carl IX. Counting only actual kings, the current king would be the 10th Carl on the Swedish throne. The Swedish royals are linked to royal families across Europe. Carl Gustaf and Denmark's Queen Margrethe II are cousins. The Swedish king also has ties to the British royal family as a great-great-grandson of Queen Victoria. King Carl XVI Gustaf grew up as an only son and the youngest of 5 siblings. His father, Prince Gustaf Adolf, died in a plane crash at Kastrup Airport in 1947. Carl Gustaf was only 9 months old at the time. In summer 1966, the Crown Prince embarked on his military training, which began in the Royal Navy. This included taking part in a round-the-world sailing on board HMS Alvsnabben. After his naval training, the Crown Prince also had the opportunity to train with the Army and the Air Force. Following his studies at Karlberg, the Crown Prince had achieved the rank of 2nd Lieutenant in the 3 armed forces. The Crown Prince subsequently completed the Swedish Defense University's management course. When King Gustaf VI Adolf died at Helsingborg General Hospital on the 15th of September 1973, the Crown Prince became King of Sweden at the age of 27. The enthronement ceremonies took place on the 19th of September. The king swore the king's oath in the cabinet meeting room at the royal palace in the presence of the government. The king has no formal powers due to a 1975 constitutional change, making him a ceremonial figurehead. Despite his wealth, castles, and medals, his duties are limited to receiving foreign dignitaries, representing Sweden on state visits, presenting awards like the Nobel Prizes, opening parliament, and chairing councils without making political decisions. He also serves as the Grand Master of various royal chivalry orders. In 1972, the then Crown Prince Carl Gustaf met his German-Brazilian future wife, Sylvia Sommerlath, who was born in 1943 in Germany. They met in Munich during the Olympic Games, where Sylvia was chief hostess. A trained interpreter, Sylvia is the first Swedish queen to have had a professional career. They married 4 years later in 1976. They have 3 children: Crown Princess Victoria, Prince Carl Philip, and Princess Madeline. The order of succession was changed in 1980, making his oldest child Victoria heir to the throne. It meant his then 7-month-old son Carl Philip lost his title as Crown Prince. Crown Princess Victoria is now the king's representative in his absence, such as when he is traveling abroad. The King of Sweden expressed that he felt it wasn't fair that his daughter was made heir to the throne when a change in succession laws in 1980 stripped his son of his position as king-in-waiting. For the first few years, the royal family lived in an apartment at the Royal Palace in Stockholm. In 1982, the king and queen and their children moved to Drottningholm Palace, just west of Stockholm. Since moving there, the royal family have continued to use the royal palace, which remains the king's official residence, as their place of work. Carl XVI Gustaf struggled to overcome his image as a car-mad playboy. In 2010, a book called The Reluctant Monarch claimed King Carl XVI Gustaf was a philanderer and frequented sex clubs in the 1990s, alleging he had many affairs with younger women. This controversial book hurt the king's popularity, especially because he never denied the claims. The king is passionate about the environment and chairs the Swedish branch of the Worldwide Fund for Nature. Since his early childhood, the king has taken a keen interest in nature and outdoor activities. This has formed the basis for his long commitment to issues relating to the environment and conservation. In 1972, the king attended the UN's first environmental conference, which was held in Stockholm. In 1992, he initiated a series of royal environmental colloquiums at which researchers, representatives from industry, and decision-makers were invited over a period of 25 years to discuss topical environmental issues. The king is passionate about fishing, hunting, and game preservation. A keen huntsman since youth, he inherited a fishing cottage in Forshaven, Västerbotten, from his grandfather, King Gustaf VI Adolf, and has logged all fish caught there since 1929. This data is now used in a sustainable fishing research project in Västerbotten's mountains, initiated by the king. Since 1965, the king has leased the Stenamar estate near Flen in Sodermanland. The king is personally involved in the work at the estate, where modern agriculture and forestry are carried out. The farm's animal husbandry is organic. Since his youth, the king has been active in scouting. For his 60th birthday, the Young Leadership Foundation was established to promote leadership training for young people based on Scout values. Each year, the king awards the Compass Rose Scholarship to young leaders showing courage, consideration, and energy. He is the first honorary member of the Swedish Guide and Scout Association, an honorary member of the Swedish Guide and Scout Council, and since 1977, honorary chairman of the World Scout Foundation, also participating in the Baden-Powell Fellowship. The king showed a keen interest in cars and tools from an early age. On his 5th birthday, he received a pedal car, a trowel, bricks, gardening tools, and a yoke with 2 buckets. He remains interested in motoring to this day. At the annual Swedish King's Rally on Åland, he drives a 1946 Volvo PV60, which he received on his 50th birthday. He has a mix of vintage American cars, Swedish classics, and European sports cars at his lakeside castle near Stockholm. The king has taken an interest in science and technology since his childhood. Since 1984, the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Sciences, IVA, has arranged royal technology missions at the king's initiative, with a focus on science, technology, and industry. Swedish business leaders and representatives from agencies and educational institutions take part in these visits, which aim to forge new contacts that can lead to a greater exchange of ideas in business. The king has a great interest in art, particularly graphic art. He collects silver by Swedish designers and art by Swedish artists, and is especially interested in Sami crafts. Music is another of the king's cultural interests, and he enjoys attending concerts and opera performances both in Stockholm and around the country. The king also takes a keen interest in culinary matters and is an active member of the Gastronomic Academy. Supporting Swedish athletes is important to the king, who follows both summer and winter sports and often attends the Olympic Games and other international competitions. The king is also a keen winter sportsman himself. Every year, the king and queen visit their cottage in Storlien among the mountains of Jutland, where they enjoy both cross-country skiing and downhill skiing. The king has taken part in the marathon Vasaloppet ski race on 3 occasions. During the summer months, the king enjoys spending time in the forest, in the countryside, and on the water. Despite undergoing keyhole heart surgery in February 2023, the king remains in good health and is expected to continue his duties. Overall, King Carl XVI Gustaf's life has been marked by both personal struggles and significant public achievements, ultimately earning him a strong connection with his subjects and a lasting legacy as the head of the House of Bernadotte. Thanks for watching. If you found King Carl XVI Gustaf's life as fascinating as we did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more captivating royal stories, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our next video.